Okay. Now that all our minds are quiet and pure, I'd like to share a statement that we often have heard. The statement is, Zen is a lifestyle, or Chan is a lifestyle. A lot of people think Chan 就是坐禅, Chan just sit there and meditate. That's only half the story. And how do I explain that our practice, Heart Chan, is more than just sit there and meditating? Let's use the sutra as a reference. The sutra said there are 10 spiritual levels that we can attain in our lifetime. The top 4, Sraveka, Pratyeka, Bodhisattva, and Buddha, once we attain them, we no longer will be reincarnated. And the lower 6 are spiritual levels that we will be reincarnated, even though the top of the 6 is spiritual heaven. It is a wonderful life, but that life is only in this life, not forever. So the top 4, composed of Pratyeka and Sraveka, these 2 are the Arahat level. And once you attain these Sraveka and Pratyeka, you will no longer reincarnate. But that's considered an individual or a small vehicle. You have attained a personal enlightenment. In order for you to reach the next level, Bodhisattva, you need to practice the 6 perfections. And then after you finish the 6 perfections, you have attained the Bodhisattva. You're graduating from the Bodhisattva level. That's stated in all the sutras, and I trust everyone knows what are the 6 perfections are. Allow me to briefly explain the 6 perfections first. Then we'll see how it relates to that our practice is a lifestyle. The first one is purification. We need to purify our mind, purify our body, purify our spirit, because all 3 are integrated, you know. If our body is sick, we won't be able to think clearly because we suffer. If we have anxieties, we have worries in our mind, we won't be happy. And our spirit is happy, just unhappy. So purification is the first one. Second one, discipline. Discipline is we need to know, we need to act, we need to execute what is proper, what is good for us, and good for everyone else. Not just only good for us, but good for everyone else, good for us all. That's what discipline. A lot of people say freedom, individual freedom. I can do what I want. No, your freedom is limited by the freedom of others. I don't remember who said that, but I deeply remember that statement. Our freedom is limited by the freedom of others. The next one is patience. We need to be patient. We don't want to rush into things. We need to be patient and understand everything before we act on. We need to be patient with whatever sudden changes in our life. In other words, or the impermanences in our lives. We need to be patient. The next one is surpassing or dedication. In other words, we should always try our best foot forward. We should always put our best foot forward and give our best shot. That's what dedication is. We don't want to say, Buddha, I'm here waiting for your help. I'm not going to do anything myself. That's a lazy man's way of practicing Chan. So that's not good. And then the next one is meditation. Meditation is keep calm, right? Meditation basically just don't be too attached to anything, you know? Let the cause and effect the world run by itself, you know? There's really no need to be overwhelmed or to be influenced, to be affected by the cause-effect world. And the next one is wisdom. Wisdom is knowing the truth of the universe. That's all. If you know the truth of the universe, then you know how to live your life with joy, peace, and love, because you are the universe. You become the universe. Now, after briefly explaining these 6 acts of perfection, how is it related to our life? How does it become our lifestyle? Actually, 6 acts of perfections is a, in my personal opinion, incorrect, inadequate translation of the original Chinese version. Even though the Chinese version is translated from Sanskrit, but the Chinese version, in my opinion, give me more things, more issues to contemplate on, you know. The original Chinese version is 六度万行, 6 degrees of 10,000 deeds. It's not 6 deeds, it's not 6 perfections, it's 10,000 deeds. We have 6 degrees. And what does that mean? That means these 6 acts of perfections is not 6 separate or different acts, or you do this first, you do purification first, and then you do whatever next, you know, the discipline next. It's not a 1, 2, 3, 4 thing. It is one thing with 6 different angles, 6 different requirements, 6 different executions at the same time into any deeds, into every deed. That's why I called 10,000 deeds with 6 degrees. In other words, whenever we act on something, we react onto something. You see, if you have plenty of love and peace, you don't need to act on anything. You just stay in love and peace. But once things, you know, happen to you, once impermanence hits you, you need to do something, right? So whenever you do something, then the 6 degrees for 10,000 deeds is worth your contemplation, worth your notification, worth your awareness, worth your measurement, your judgment. In other words, let's say we encountered an incident, we need to solve it. At the same time, we need to take into 6 degrees for 10,000 deeds. In other words, Are we pure at that time? Are we disciplined in this particular deed we did? Are we patient at the same time? Did we put our best foot forward? You get it? Are we calm enough? Do we have wisdom? All at the same time, we need to do this 6 perspective, 6 requirements, 6 degrees of execution. Every deed, not this deed we try to be pure, that deed we need to meditate, this deed, no. So if you think about it, this 6 act of perfections, so English translation, give us the guidelines to deal with our everyday life. And meditation is just a spiritual state which I have to stay in. It's not a meditation technique. We don't, when we act on certain things, we don't need to sit there and meditate. we should already attain that spiritual state. We practice every day, at every moment, to reach that certain state of spirituality, a certain calmness. So the meditative practice does not enter into the picture of the 6th degree of perfection. Some of us always eager or anxious to see light. You know, I see light in my meditation. Buddha is here, or I even see Buddha. I see Buddha's temple. How is that related to 6th act of perfection? So meditation itself, by itself, the practice itself, is not the complete heart and practice. That only helps us to purify our body, mind, and spirit. Once we did that, or or in the process of attaining that, we should try to put the 6 degrees of perfection into every moment in our lives. And Sifu call it fulfillment. Every encounter in our lives is a homework for us. Let me give you one example. My wife gave me a salad for dinner. I hate salad. I always want steak and lobster. I didn't quarrel with my wife, but I ate with some hatred. You know, that little hatred is your ego. Whenever you object to something, whenever you dislike something, it's your ego at work. Fulfillment, or the 6th degree of act, has no condition. It's an absolute surrender of your ego. That's what it is, if you think about it. Can you accept everything throwing at you at every moment in your lives? So therefore, we call this practice in Chinese 修行. 修 means repair and fine-tune. 行 means act. In other words, once we repair and fine-tune our body, mind, and spirit, we need to act on it. It's a 2-legged venture. Once we act on it, we need the 6th degree of perfection to measure whether we did everything as required. That's what we call a successful fulfillment. So therefore, you see, part-time practice is a lifestyle. You just sit there and meditate, but if you don't practice into your everyday life, you would have no idea how big an ego you had. You have no idea what kind of person you truly is. You need to discover yourself through acting. Meditating can shave off some of the bad traits of yourselves, but it will not expose the true deep down ego we have. My experience tells me only through absolute surrender, perfect execution of the 6th degree of perfection, can I truly get to know myself. I can penetrate the veil of ego, penetrate the measurement, the judgment, the discrimination, the bias, and the subjectiveness and the dogmaticness of myself. Once I penetrated that, then I reach peace and love. You cannot truly love someone if you have opinions. I love you, but love has to be a total, complete acceptance of both the things you like and the both things you don't like. Of course, it's easy to say. Once you practice, you'll learn it. You will realize. That's why Chan practice cannot be described. It's a personal journey. It's a personal experience. And to me, personally, I think it's a wonderful, wonderful journey. It's so exciting. It's so deep and so interesting and so challenging. So what I want to say is, don't just sit there and meditate. Go into the world and try to accept everyone you meet. I remember there's this book. I didn't read the book, but I read the introduction to the book. Talk about, the book title is called The Year of Yes. Talk about a young lady who has set up 20 requirements in looking for a spouse. After years and years looking, she never successfully find anyone satisfy those 20 requirements. And she says, this year, I'm going to forget about all my requirements. I'm going to say yes to everyone who wanted to date me. And during that year, she dated like 2 homelesses, 1 taxi driver, and anybody that proposed to her. At the end, she married someone who was 20 years older than her, with 2 kids. That's definitely not part of her 20 requirement, but she was happy as ever. What the moral of the story? The moral of the story is we don't know what we want. We thought we know, you know. Actually, deep down inside, we all know what we want. We all know we love peace. That's what we want, love and peace. Love and peace. But the way we seek it, the way we think, what it's equivalent to, are based on our mind. And that is oh boy, that is a dangerous way to define love and peace. Don't use our mind. Just use our heart. And there's plenty of love and peace in the world. We can all tap into it and live a wonderful life. So that's my sharing of China is a lifestyle. It has to be incorporated into our lives at every moment. Not bowing to Buddha, not reciting the scriptures, just act it out with love. That's all. It's very simple, but it's so hard to describe it. Anyone has anything to share? Well, I never get anyone to share. uh, well, then let's meditate. Today, because this camera set up, I have to sit on the floor. Right now, I'm sitting on the desk. So you won't be able to see me once I sit on the floor, but you'll be able to hear me, okay? I can move the microphone over, but I can't move the camera over. Let's begin by take a few deep breaths. Now, now let's focus on navel chakra. As the navel chakra expands, you can feel the chi enter into our shoulders and chest, travel down our arms into the palm of our hands. You may feel tingling sensation at the tip of your fingers. Also, it travels up into my eye sockets, into my head, into my earlobes, Gradually, you will find there is less distinction between your arms and your torso. Your upper half just feel like a bunch of chi. As the chest feels chi more fully, you begin to sink into your abdomen. The chi abdomen travel down your legs, my legs, circle around the left and right side into the back toward my kidneys. And you begin to arrive at my root chakra. Root chakra for the gentleman is near the prostate. For the ladies is near the cervix. If you don't feel the root chakra, you can contract your anus. Slowly, slowly you're gonna feel the chi from root chakra rising upward. You may even find some vibration near the root chakra. No matter how small, just focus on it, it will become bigger. And the chi from root chakra will reach the heart chakra. Try to sense both the heart chakra and root chakra back and forth. Heart chakra is the middle of our chest. Just sense it back and forth. You will notice there is a channel connecting the root and the heart. Now, you may find your heart chakra begin to vibrate, begin to swell up, and connect it to the root chakra. If so, then focus on heart chakra. Let it expand. Very quickly, you'll notice the chi from the heart chakra will reach your 10th chakra at the top of your head. Once you did that, now it's time to line up the 3 chakras. The 10th chakra or the crown chakra at the top of your head, the heart chakra in the middle, and the root chakra at the bottom. You may need to sit up straight, tucking your chin a little bit. Once you did that, you may see a column of light go through you from the 10th chakra to the heart chakra, to the root chakra. In most recent Sifu's teacher, he also mentioned this light going through us. If you don't see a light, that's okay too. Soon you will. This is called the three center alignment. The root chakra is the center of earth. The heart chakra is center of human. The 10th chakra, or the crown chakra at the top of the head, is the center of the universe. So the universe and the earth all meet at our human center. So we are one with the universe and the earth. Now just pick a chakra or pick a light or pick a place in your body to focus on and try to enter Chanting. As always, we do not call an end to the session. When time comes, we just shut the Zoom down. You can meditate, and please do meditate for as long as you can. Thank you for joining us. I enjoyed it. I hope you did too.